engineer is going to be Ghost. Real name, Phil. Ghost. Real name, Felipe Quintanilla. Recognize.
What I picked for you today, mate? What's M.E.R.C?
Shut up with your stupid hands.
Got calluses, mate.
I don't know, mate. You, like you say, you picked it out. I looked at it and I just watched the videos on Steam. It's an early access title, but it looks like XCOM meets Baldur's Gate.
I would like to have played it myself, but as you're the XCOM spurt,
Get out.
it's one for you. So hopefully it's going to be a nice, fast-paced version of XCOM, because XCOM's obviously kind of more of a slow,
turn-based,
strategical
mate.
type thing.
Yeah.
So let's dump in. Enjoy yourself.
Select character.
M.E.R.C.
Sounds edgy, right?
It is. It's edgy as
It
a
sounds
motherfucker.
edgy as
It's
fuck.
edgy as fuck. What is the story of M.E.R.C, pal? Have they done one, or what?
They have done one. It's just a really base level, non-intricate foundation level story. Basically, pal, we're in Neotopia. Okay? This is the last standing city, Neotopia. Drink
Can't
that
tell,
in.
but I am smiling at the name Neotopia.
Neotopia. It's like Mega City 1, mate.
Oh, okay. So they're going for that dystopian feel.
They have, mate. They have. Okay. So you're the leader of a group of mercenaries who are basically charged with keeping the peace in Neotopia. Okay.
Oh, you're like extra cops.
Sort of. Yeah.
Cops
I don't think
squared.
there isn't. I don't think there is cops in this universe. So you're basically
What a
there
shitty universe.
exactly to keep the peace.
What a shit universe.
There's an organization called M.E.R.C who's trying to fuck shit up basically, and that's because the fat cat companies in this city who are actually helping, all of them are actually invested into the city to try and rebuild it. M.E.R.C's trying to tear that all down.
Okay, so
you're just trying to keep the peace.
Let me just get a grasp on this
Go.
situation. There's one remaining city on Earth. There's no police, but there is a company who's trying to wreck it.
There is, mate.
Whereas every other company is actually really good about it and trying to keep
Yes.
it alive.
Correct
and are hiring
and undo.
mercs just to say, why are you screwing this place up? And they're like, because we can.
There's a reason why, mate.
Oh, okay.
There's a reason why, but anyway, that's the general gist of it. So you take charge of a bunch of mercenaries who you can name and give emblem to. We went with the Edgelords.
Of course.
Of course, it's edgy as fuck anyway. But that's basically the gist of the story. That's how
Well, these games are
simple
all
it
about
is.
gameplay, and obviously posing itself as I mean, they're not shy about it, as a real-time XCOM is what they're going
Absolutely.
for.
That's what-
advertising
yeah.
that pretty obviously. That's what they're going for.
That's what got me hyped about it, because I absolutely love XCOM. It was one of my games of the year last year. And the fact that it's in real time kind of made me feel like it's got an active pause as well. It kind of made me like draw myself back to Baldur's Gate. In the same,
wow, I
you
didn't
see what I
expect you to
mean?
say that.
Yeah, but in the times that you've got a small unit, you can control units. Each one has got unique abilities, and it's all done in real time. But you can hit a tactical
That
pause.
actually makes total sense.
Yeah?
That's a really good comparison.
So that's why I was really hyped for it. So yeah, it's a squad-based movement with the troops with special abilities, like we've just covered. You can hire new mercs. They do die, but they do recover in 5 days. They're not permadead.
oh, so if they die in a mission, they're not gone.
They're just out of action. You can either do it with less troops, or you can hire new mercs off the black market. Now these expect a wage, so you need to work for your
Yeah,
wage.
so you got your monthly outgoing.
Exactly. You can also get weapons and gear as well from the black market. Each character, due to their spec, has a talent tree.
Right.
this
So what are the
was-
specs?
There's the engineer, assault, entry team, and sniper.
Nothing weird. It's all
Nothing
pretty-
weird.
all
It's
pretty standard
it's
stuff.
the foundation of what you'd expect in this kind of game. But the talent trees got me excited. I saw how, I say big, but in terms of for each character having one, they're pretty big, but they're very, very boring.
Oh, is it
Very
let me
boring.
guess. Increased grenade amount. Increased grenade
Bingo,
damage.
bango.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can do that. Each character, it looked like, had 2 special abilities that you can get, and then you can mix and match which 2 abilities you use in game.
Okay, so is that something you can teach, or when you get them from like the
When you learn them
hire
in your
people, do they
perk-
come with a perk, then you can pick and choose from that?
Well, one character comes with 2 perks. One characters are automatically quite leveled, then the 3 newbies you've got to level up.
Okay.
So you can pick and choose between your skills that you get from the talent tree. There are skills and enhancements that are in the talent tree. Pretty basic, but it's pretty boring, I've got to be honest about that. It does offer co-op multiplayer. We didn't get a chance to do that.
Oh, yeah, it's not active yet, I don't think.
It may be active. It may may have been pulled down. I forgot to mention this is actually an alpha while I'm recording this, but I will get to that in a minute because that's a very big point as well that I want to draw on. So, in the crux of it, pal, that's it. It's a real-time XCOM-based game with the same XCOM feel. Offers tactical pausing, interchangeable skills, weapons, gear, and
So I'm going to
units.
ask you the ultimate question. It's XCOM in real time, which means there's no time to really plan anything out without using the active pausing the game.
Yep.
That's got to come down to how does it control. So, you've got to be moving fast in this game.
You
'Cause
are.
The idea of the game is to keep going and going.
That's it. You can buy yourself some time with the pause, which I'm sure with a lot of people's comfort zones they will do. But in certain situations, in fact, you know what, mate? Before we open this door, the pros are pretty short, so I'm just going to plow through them. Okay. So pros being, it's a very interesting concept, and I hope to God it develops well. Okay. We had no performance issues, and the story is simple enough to grasp. It's just the story's there so it's not just a generic game with resettable levels, because it is RNG generated areas as well. By the way, they're not set areas.
Oh, okay.
Now cons. Let me roll out my scroll.
Fucking scroll.
Like I mentioned, the theory of the game of how it plays in the mechanics should be tantalizing, exciting. It is exciting. However, the execution was criminal.
Really bad.
Criminal. I was absolutely infuriated with how it shocks. It's lazy. It's unresponsive. The intuitive AI is far from intuitive. And randomly, not even just in gunfights, the controls where movement and shooting are completely random of how long it takes you, or even if it reacts at all.
What, the animation?
The actual action of it, not just the animation.
Oh, do you mean literally clicking where you want
Literally clicking where you want to put it. It's sometimes you leave your troops out in the open. Like if I misfire on something and I click movement, my troops will continue to move to that area in some instances until they reach that area before I can pull them
Almost
back
like
again.
a waypoint system.
Exactly like a waypoint system. Yeah,
But
that
that's
was
not
so
what
bad.
it is. It's acting like a waypoint system.
Yeah,
It's not a waypoint.
The actions of your squad as well, like we had 4 people, which was with the Alpha and the Bravo team. You can only control them 2 at a time.
Oh, did you designate who was in Alpha and Bravo?
Sort of, yeah, but you ideally do that with people who've got synergy in their team.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So could you put 2 like close quarters guys together and 2 range guys
Bingo,
together?
yeah. But you can only do it like per 2 people, your actions, which was kind of annoying. Like if I was opening a door, I just want one person to do it so that I can increase the
Oh, you
firepower.
can't possibly select individual people.
No. It's like, imagine a team of 4, 2 at a time, Alpha and Bravo, that's it. So if I wanted to, there was 3 guys behind a door, and I needed to gun them down as soon as I opened it, I'd open the door, but 2 people would go for it. So that means, like, I've got 1 less person to initiate the fire.
Yeah.
So that was bullshit. Anyway, there was no map in the game, and the area is actually reused terrain, so it was very hard to navigate.
Oh, right, okay.
So it was it was like a maze, but with no map, and also...
That's probably down to them having... I mean, I've got to question the decision to have randomly generated levels in a game that's definitely got to involve cover systems.
Absolutely.
And proper positioning.
If you're going to rely on the reused textures like that, you need to incorporate a map, because another flaw with this is the camera. It's static to your troops, you can't move it around, and if you want to try and plot an ambush or anything like that, even in pause, your camera's stuck on your troops. You can lower it close to your character, which will give you an elevation of the camera angle slightly, but very badly. You can't take in the area.
So you can't assess like height and stuff?
You can't assess height, you can't assess what covers you're going to have when you go into another room or an area and stuff like that.
How was the cover?
Next point, Pledge.
Oh,
the
sorry.
cover was shit. No, it was a good segue. The cover
Okay.
was shit. Like if there was a thin wall for cover, it usually highlights orange if you can interact with it, which means your troops will instinctively take that as cover. If it's a thin line and it's straight onto your eye, you could be in cover on the wrong side when you click on it, because you're not clicking on the right side of the cover unless you rotate your camera just to get into that cover.
So it didn't have... It was... I feel really bad because the idea is pretty good. The idea is pretty good of having a real-time
this is what I'm
XCOM
saying.
that was
This is
more
what I'm
engaging,
saying.
much more fast-paced, kept you probably more involved, a bit more actiony for those of us who might not like the slow pace that you'll probably get in
Yeah,
XCOM
but you
game.
can create the slow
But if you
pace
can't control
yourself.
the characters properly, it's
No,
not going to work, is
absolutely
it?
not. And
Especially
so-
if you're doing it fast. That's the point. If
Yeah,
you want to be doing it
but
quicker.
check this out. The troops won't open fire when they see the enemy. They will only fire when they get hit back. I think they should have included a difficulty option.
Oh, so there is no difficulty.
No difficulty option.
Oh, okay, no difficulty option.
So, conclusion-wise, pal, I think this is... It's not a AAA early release, obviously, but this is a massive testament to why you shouldn't buy early release games or alpha release games at full price.
Well, I mean, the whole meaning seems to have changed. There'll be some debate, I'm sure, in the comments about this, but from my perspective, if you're charging full price for the game,
Yep.
and just going, it's alpha, so it's allowed to have bugs, I'm like, dude, that's
bad.
That's not
It's
the way
bad.
this is supposed to work.
But here's the thing that adds fuel to the fire is, if you are going to do that, some instances it's worked out very nicely with more established companies that have done that. But if you're going to release an early build or alpha build game, you need to make sure the fucking fundamentals in which your game is based on is
if you're
working.
charging for it. If
you're charging for it, absolutely.
If it's like, here, can you test this out? Or we'll put it out in early access for free in the alpha, and you know, try and help us figure out this bugs. Fine, no problem. But if you're going to charge a lot of money, it's not cheap.
No,
it's not cheap.
You need to make sure that the mechanics that your game's based on is working.
Alpha as an excuse to say, oh, it's still alpha, it's still alpha.
Yeah,
like,
it's bullshit,
bro. That's not cool. Oh, what a shame then.
Pity. I was really hyped for this. The actual mechanics of it itself, like we discussed, that don't work, are what drew me into being hyped for it. It's a shame though. But yeah, like, if you enjoy it, and hopefully they are going to take in the critique. I actually read through a couple of comments as well with people in exactly the same mindset as me. But hopefully we can see this game develop further in time. But right now, if they're willing to ignore what the fundamentals of the game's based on, I've not got that much hope for it.
How was it, mate? Wasn't very good, was it? Oh, it feels bad.
Mate, it
bad,
was
bro.
horrible.
That's a shame.
I get it, but disguising how bad the game is in its like mechanical condition under the guise of alpha or early access is bullshit. If you're gonna get bugs,
We've seen it a lot
you're
recently.
gonna get bugs in a game, but if you're gonna charge people for it and actually get wrong what your game's based on, don't. Just don't.
Is it one to revisit in a while? I mean...
No. Do you know, let me tell you why though. Not just because I'm just casting out, is that for the reason I just said.
Yeah, that bit should be right before you're going to start charging.
If you're going to get bugs in your game, alpha and that, fair enough. But if the fundamental mechanics, what your game is based on, in terms of real-time movement of a troops...
I mean, that's the whole game.
That's what the game's based on.
That's the game. All right then. Well, unfortunate, but now you know. Keep an eye out. Maybe they will develop it at some point. But other than that, if you enjoyed that video, please check out last Make Swap, which was on Resident Evil 7.
Spoopy, mate.
Yeah, some VR and some PC play over there. And if not, you can check out the little VOD of Andy freaking the fuck out playing this game down below. Bye-bye, everybody. Oh, no.